Soul Calibur 6.
Good morning, boys and girls of the internet. Today is Saturday, October 20th, 2018, log number 293. As of this recording, I finally got up one of the vacation vlogs. Yay, I'm so proud of myself. Yay. I picked up the newest in the franchise of Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 6, yay! It's been a couple of years since the last major Soul Calibur game. I know they came out with one, like on PS3, that it technically, I mean, they had a Soul Calibur 5, like way long time ago, like early on. And then they came out with another one that was kind of like a free-to-play kind of thing, and it was kind of shitty. I wasn't too crazy about it, and I tried playing it. As you may or may not know, I'm a huge Soul Calibur fan. Ever since, like, I mean, I liked Soul Edge back on PS1, but like when they made Soul Calibur on Dreamcast, that was my jam. That was a shit. I freaking love that game. And of course, like, my favorite character, Ivy. Oh god, the moves I can do with her. I got really good with her at one point. I think by the time like Soul Calibur 3 came along, like, I could bust out with freaking devastating attacks, devastating combos and stuff. I digress. Soul Calibur 6 just came out the 19th of October. And they're doing like a celebration. It's like a 20-year celebration of Soul Calibur, or since Soul Edge actually came out, which makes me feel old. But I only played it for a good, like, maybe hour and a half or so last night, so I didn't get a chance to play all of much. So this is not a review of any kind. This is just kind of my thoughts and impressions. In fact, you're seeing gameplay of it right now, hopefully. I'm hopefully going to put the gameplay footage right here. And it's, don't get me wrong, it's a very, gorgeous, flashy looking game. The effects are amazing and stuff. I do like they have like special moves now, where the past games didn't really have, like, I wouldn't really call these finishers. I just call these, like, I don't know what they call them in the game, but they're almost like super moves. That's the best way I can really say it, explain it. You do have like a super meter, up by your life meter, and you can perform a super move when the time comes. And these moves are all, like, really flashy when they land. Of course, I've only seen a few of them, but they're all really cool. Sophia's, that's the one I so far I like the best. That move is just awesome. But like, when I was playing it, maybe I'm just getting a little jaded, or maybe that Soul Calibur, it wants to retain a kind of a stylized look to it in terms of the character designs and how it's kind of portrayed, but graphically, I don't know, it doesn't seem that big of a leap from, like, the PS3 days, you know what I mean, like the last generation. It seems that this can easily be on the prior generations. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not expecting, like, super realistic, like, hair simulations and shit on the top of their heads, but in Soul Calibur 6, the hair still looks polygonal. You know what I mean? Skin textures look video gamey. And no, I'm not expecting, like, Last of Us 2 level skin texture and realism. I'm not asking for that, but I know fighting games have to have some kind of style to it, but also you can do other things with fighting games that you can't do with a game where you're running around an open world. Now, I haven't really played with them too much or looked too close to compare, but one good example of this is in Soul Calibur 6, they put Geralt in the game. If you know Geralt, he's from the Witcher series, and specifically this version is from The Witcher 3. So you can directly compare Geralt's character model in Soul Calibur 6 with that of the PC Witcher 3 or any other version of Witcher 3 is out there, and look at the quality of the character model in terms of skin textures and hair textures and stuff like that. And I could swear when I was looking at it, I was like, he looks video gamey. He looks, in Soul Calibur, he looks like they made him fit with the rest of the cast. And I'm not saying this as a complaint by far, and it sounds like I'm complaining. I'm just saying that maybe my expectations might have been a little bit too high. I was expecting maybe characters with armor, the metals to look a little bit more like metal than what they do. I also know there might be a reason behind it, is because like a couple other past Soul Calibur games, this game does allow you to customize your character. You can custom create a character from scratch, but you can also get existing characters. Like you can get Ivy, you can get Astaroth, you can get Mitsurugi, whoever you want, and change their outfit and change their hair and paint them up and all that stuff. And I think that is kind of what is making it look video gamey, because whenever you have that level of customization, you have to set limitations, you have to set boundaries in terms of what you can do. Like when you have characters of all different basically different shapes and sizes, you have to have kind of generic looking clothing that would fit onto most character models and work. You can't have if you have a cloth on a character that is supposed to be billowy and flowing, and you kind of want the physics of the game to enact to that, if there's a little cape or something, you want, if the character moves in a way where their arm brushes against it, you expect modern day physics to be able to handle that and to brush against it realistically. Well, when you have custom characters of all different shapes and sizes, you don't know how big or how small you're putting these cloth objects on. You can't exactly expect physics to really be all that accurate. So thus you design it a little more simply and you ignore those physics. I'm thinking that's what's going on here. I could be wrong. It could be totally just high expectations maybe. And maybe one thing I should probably do, I should also I can't speak. I should also look at the last Tekken game that came out, because I believe with Tekken they do kind of make their characters a little more realistic in terms of realistic looking cloth and realistic looking skin textures, to be more of a human it's a human and not so stylized like Soul Calibur. It's not super stylized, but just somewhat more realistic. Of course, in Tekken, you got people like Jack, who is a giant robot guy, and he doesn't look realistic at all. That's beside the point. But you get someone like Heihachi, he has an old man texture on him, and his skin looks like an old man's. I don't know how close to realism they have. I don't know. And I mean, I do say one thing about Soul Calibur 6. the lighting and the environment, those look all really nice. Like there's really good shadow effects. There's really good like some stages have like water on the ground, and those look pretty much what you expect. But again, maybe I'm just underwhelmed by how it looks like this game could have existed in the last generation. You know what I mean? I don't know what else they could have done to make it look better. I mean, I know what they could have done, but it would have totally ruined the aesthetic of Soul Calibur, I think. One would imagine. I don't know. That's just my weird thoughts and musings about it. Other than that, I need to, definitely play the game more. By this video that's up here, I probably did play it more because I had to capture this video. And the different modes in the game, of course, you have your regular like arcade mode and versus and stuff like that, and they have online play. I'm not gonna delve into online play. I don't give a shit about that. But they also have different story modes. That's another thing I was kind of disappointed in, is that the story mode, they have like the character stories that you go through, but they're all like they're like drawings for the characters. And they're well drawn. They're not like animated or anything. Like they just like have different like facial like a mouth open or mouth closed, and it's a very boring way to present a story in the modern age. Like to me, I guess it's not that big a deal, but I can imagine for gamers today who they want to see something like that looks pretty. Whatever happened to like they had other Soul Calibur games in the past which had animated cutscenes where they use just in-game graphics to kind of tell you the story of just a little bit of cutscene. And this one they don't do that. I also have to delve into, I haven't up as of this recording, I guess you want to call it a quest mode. This is something that I've kind of wanted ever since Soul Calibur 3. If you remember Soul Calibur 3, when it came out in the arcade, it had this really cool quest mode in the arcade, but that never made it to the home version, and it pissed me off that they never did, because the quest mode was amazing. It was fun as hell, and it just added a little more dynamics to the game. Now this game has it. They don't call it quest mode, but it's pretty much that's what it is. You take your own original character and you just kind of go through this like world map. I'm not sure what exactly you can or cannot do in it. I don't know what the ultimate goal, not really a goal, but the ultimate flow of the questing. I don't know how that's run, so I'll delve into that, see how it is. But that is basically, that's the game's way of giving you things to do in the game, to extend the life, extend the life of the game. Other than playing online play and stuff. Of course, there's all kinds of unlockables in the game. As you do things, you get like these points. You get these coins or something. You can unlock artworks and stuff, and that's always cool. Overall, I'm definitely gonna enjoy the game. Big Soul Calibur fan, of course. If anything, if I do delve into online play at all, it's only gonna be with like one person, one friend. That's about it, because that's all I'm gonna know who's gonna own it. I'm not gonna jump in and play with random people because I don't give a shit about that. But yeah. Did you get Soul Calibur? If you did, what do you think about it? What do you think about the prior ones? What do you think about this compared to the other ones? Let me know. But for now, that's it. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day. I love you.
そうだ。シャンレンは言っていた。運命は自ら切り開くものだと。シャンレンは俺に命を託し、死を選んだ。ならば俺は。
From that day forth, Killick bore the heavy weight of his karma. As Shanglin's slayer and the last living member of Ling Shengsu, he chose to face his cruel fate head on.